Hey, good morning, everybody. Bob Trade Genius, 29th of December, and I want to talk silver. And so we had a consolidation here from this is a weekly chart. Okay, this is our indicator. It's a trend indicator, our profit ribbon. It's which we modified a Hull moving average to give us some good buy and sell signals, and we went into another up move here in May, and which was interesting because it stayed on the top half of the linear regression channel here. You can see the blue, and it bounced off of that, which is pretty bullish. Our money flow indicator gave us a multiple buy, which is very interesting to us, and then we ran up into September and we kind of blew off. Here's the inverted hammer right here. We got a sell signal, and then we had a money flow sell signal, and then we had a sell signal from the ribbon. But our rule of thumb is if something breaks through 3 standard deviations, no matter how much you like it, take profit. It doesn't necessarily mean you short it, but it definitely means that the move is probably over. And that's indeed what happened. And then so I drew out a fib on this, and just had it tucked away here, and then came back to it when we broke out last week in silver again. We had some really nice trades on the miners, and we're up moving again. And what's really good about these moves coming out of these weekly cycles is that when you get these big bars like this, that there's pretty good enthusiasm for the stock, and we're getting it again here. So you got to push, and now we have to watch for, if you're short swing trade, if you're long swing trading, just stay in there, because we broke the bear's back right here when he broke back above the 0.618, and so now really the next area of resistance is going to be back up to the top here on silver. So that's looking at a weekly. You notice here it broke down enough into the linear regression channel here to recharge. RSI is back over 50. We got a trend change. We got money flow in the top half of the range. So, okay. All right, Bob. So I missed this. Thanks for telling me now 3 weeks into it. But so what do I do now? So now you kind of step down, and you look at it from a daily standpoint. And on a daily standpoint is that we're pushing up here to 3 standard deviations. So I wouldn't be buying new here necessarily on silver, because it's probably going to push back. And if we go down to an hourly, we'll see that they've tried to start doing that on Friday. Okay, it was kind of a flattish week here on an hourly basis, but we're drifting down. So now we have to see whether or not the hourly now recharges, and we probably will test this fib line right here, 1764. But if we get a good bounce off of that, then you can go back in heavy on the miners. I took profit on them on Thursday, but I got back in on a couple of them on Friday, because seasonality to the end of February is strong for silver, and I think there's a recognition now that the central banks are just buying like crazy, and they're buying precious metals. Silver is way undervalued against gold, so I think there's a tremendous opportunity here to be with the silver miners, and so that's what you need to really focus on. And so I'm going to just show you the charts of some of these miners here really fast here. So let me go back up to a weekly, because it gives really good perspective. And I'll just start off with the big ETFs first. Here's GDX, although I know it's mostly gold, but it's cycling up. GDXJ cycling up. SIL cycling up. SALJ cycling up, but now it's at 3 standard deviations. So there's probably going to be a bit of a rest here, but sometimes when these things move, they just go on you, and they go and go and go. So You're gonna have to have some exposure, and you're gonna have to just deal with maybe some noise next week when big money comes back in after the holiday week for the New Year's, and then but I think you're going to be rewarded on it. And of course, the ones that I like the most are, and I'm not in AG right now, but I will be buying back in on it soon. But I did re-enter Coeur d'Alene Mining on this thing, and just to show you the potential of this thing, because it's breaking out of an inverted head and shoulders right now, is see, on a monthly it's doing a nice cup, and when it breaks out it's going to come to the top here. So there's a double in CDE's future. I'm just trading it right now, see if I can go from $8 to $8.50, just taking it one trade at a time. And let me go into here. So it's consolidating here. It's kind of flagging out a little bit. And then I entered in some options on Ego. Okay, looks the same. Bottoming out. These things all may pop from these consolidations. So, if you want to wait, if you're a subscriber, let the moneymaker get you in. And this is a 40, 50, 50, 40 setup, because I have two moneymaker indicators set up. So you just duplicate them. And then, or you can wait for the profit ribbon to turn back up. If you're a subscriber, you have access to this, or you can get access to it. You just have to ask us for it. And then if you're not a subscriber, you can get these indicators. They're just killer. Okay, you're going to make good money with them. And then we jumped back into Great Panther a while ago here, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally we got in at 47, popped up here to 56, kind of holding it now. It's a bit of a lotto. I think it's filling this gap right here, and then it's probably going to go again. But I'm just trying to be patient with this, because I think this one's really going to pay out, and it, the reserves will probably get bought, if anything else, even though the company's struggling a little bit. But it's a good move here. If you want to take profit, you can make 8% on it already. But I think it's gonna push higher. And then everything else we're just kind of waiting on. And Hecla is the one I have the options on, not Ego. I'm sorry about that. So I got January options on Hecla Mining, and like I said, from the silver standpoint, Mag Silver, Hecla Mining, PAS is broken out into clear air here. This is consolidating even flatter. If you check out the weekly on Pan American Silver, it broke out through its fib. Okay, and then if you look at it from the last time they had a weekly move here, this was a 85% move. So, and now there's nothing here till 2016 highs. So, you're looking at, it broke out of that, and to see, you have to go back even further. So we'll go out to a monthly and look at PAS. So these guys are starting to move here. So, the next area here is right here. I think the price is pretty much right there too. So, yeah, see, it broke out of that one too. So now the next high on this thing is going to be right here, 44. So there's a double in PAS's future too. So depending on how hard you want to trade, okay. So there's some good opportunities here with some of these miners, and get that all straightened out again. But anyway, I'm rambling now a little bit, but this is a great opportunity. This has been the opportunity, guys. You don't have to trade anything else in 2020. Just keep getting these silver miners on these moves. And I'll just go back and just show you again. I'll do SLB, go weekly, because guys don't trade the futures here. Okay, and just every time this thing turns up, you're just going to get some really nice moves. And once we clear this here, then we're going up to here, and then we're going to here. So I suspect over 20 here shortly, and then from there we're just going to have to wait and see. But silver is extremely shorted by people that are going to be underwater here pretty fast, and I think you're going to see them bail. You're going to see these things just launch. So anyway, have a good one. Again, if you want to check any specials out here, you have 3 days. You can renew or buy, $2.99, and we just as a thank you as our Black Friday special. Some folks missed it and were asking about it, so due to demand, we're gonna just throw it up there for the last 3 days. So $299, take advantage of it. I think you'll appreciate it. I mean, you're talking $25 a month here worth of value, and the trades that we're giving people are tremendous. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.